Hello everybody, Multiman37 back here with another review, this time of the, well, it's a Throwback Thursday review of the deluxe Tokumei Gattai series GT02 Gorilla and RH03 Rabbit from Tokumei Sentai Go Busters. These are the vehicles belonging to Blue and Yellow Buster along with their buddy roids. And yeah, let's get this started. First, we'll take a look at the box. Then we'll take a look at their two Buddy Roid figures. And then we'll take a look at the vehicles. So let's move this out of the way. Front, here we have It's Time for Buster. And we got Gorilla and Rabbit. We got GT02 Gorilla, RH03 Rabbit, and their modes. On this side, you have their stats. On this side, you have the combination for Go Bustero. I had to wash the top of this with like a cloth because it was dusty. On the bottom, we have how they transform by themselves. And on the, well, actually on the top, I should say, the top we have a picture of Blue and Yellow Buster with Gorosaki Banana and Usada Lettuce. And on the back is, of course, everything you're going to do with this. By the way, that is actually how much I paid, because that's actually how much I paid, $118, because I also got this with Ace. So, yeah. All things considered, it makes sense now, doesn't it? Anyway, so let's start with the Buddy Roids. So here we have the blue Buddy Roid, Gorosaki Banana, and the yellow Buddy Roid, Usada Lettuce, aka Gorosaki and Usada. So Gorosaki, very nice actually. Very small affair. In fact, I can't focus on it. In fact, all the details that are there. It's just unfortunately not painted in. Although, for some of it, I could forgive, like, the little eyes that Gorosaki has. His head is actually the steering wheel, so when it's in Let's Driving mode, I think his name was Ren? Ren would always be grabbing on his face to drive him. He got his kind of hole mashed iron plating effect for his arms and legs. And then, you know, chest is in silver. Of course, you got his backpack, which is a lot more compact in the show. Then again, this is meant to go with the DX toys. His only pose ability is his legs can go up and down. Unfortunately, there is no other pose ability other than that. So yeah. Usada Lettuce is practically the R2-D2 of the Buddy Roids, except he can actually speak. And his ears are actually the controls for the helicopter, which I actually find very interesting. And yeah, again, all the details that are there, just not picked out in paint. You get the little black wheels, except they're faded on mine. And yeah, of course you got the back of it, which it's actually supposed to look like this. Just not the front. Well, it's supposed to be more compacted down, though. But it would look something like this. It doesn't have any posability, except unless you count this as posability, but it's more for transformation. In fact, let me bring in Nick here, who I have in Ace. And now we have all three Buddy Roids, and these are the only three Buddy Roids that they will ever release. Okay, maybe that was kind of a lie, because they released a fourth one. It was the frog one, Enitan, which I want to get. I still don't have it, even after I bought these in 2012, along with Tatagami Mayo. And I still need to replace my Morphin Brace and my Ichigon Buster, so yeah. Those aside, first we'll take a look at GT02, which stands for gorilla hauler, because this is a rig. This is in, let's see, it has an 8-wheeler. Very nice. It rolls quite nicely. It's got very hefty. You do get the little cockpit area, even though he doesn't really drive it like this. And you do get the... I originally thought that was just gorilla and rabbit, but it was actually cheetah, gorilla, and rabbit together. It's on the other side. You do get the green, blue, and yellow, which is faded on mine, and it also helps you indicate which side the shoulder goes when the Bustero is involved. Yeah, there's a little super glue, because I had to super glue this because the joint inside breaks a lot. Interestingly enough, there is actually a helipad on GT02, so you could actually put RH03 on top of it. And it actually does fit in. Like, you just fit the wheels, the back wheels. I need to focus this and drop the camera while I'm at it. But you set the wheels on top of the little grooves. That will be the gorilla's hands, and then you set this part on the top of the rig. And it can actually hold, it will actually hold like that. It's not going to go shifting around unless you tip it forward. Yeah, that aside, we'll go into Let's Driving mode. So to do that, open up this section. And I guess this could be like a ramp of some sort. And you take Gorosaki, and you can, even though you can fold up the legs all the way up like that, you can only put them in with the legs facing like that. Because if you try doing it like this, it just won't work. So you can only do it like that, and then the 2 tabs on the side will slot in. And then we flip this thing all the way over. And there we have it in Let's Driving mode, where you do actually leave the gorilla's eyes shut like that. And this is what it would look like as it drives around. Very nice. But of course, he can also go into his animal mode. For that, we pull off the front cab, which can't really hold it, which is very top heavy, so you can't really get this thing to... Oh yeah, these 2 sections come off very easily. I never really liked that about this thing. This thing is very top heavy, so there's no way you can have the rig by itself. Yeah, and then you take this section. Pray to God that it didn't break. And then, yeah, the super glue residue, I'll get rid of that someday. Fold these up. Fold out the little hands. And then separate it down the middle. There we go. Then these will be the legs. Attach one leg to the arm. Or one arm to the leg section. And repeat on the other side. And then, oh my God, there we go. And then you take the front cab, make sure that's fold down, and flip it up. And these are actually spotlights. Not sure why a gorilla would need spotlights for, but hey, it's a thing. If I can get this thing in there, it will not go in there. Unless I'm... Yeah, okay, there we go. And then you take the head, attach it to the sides of the arms, and then flip up the eyes. And there you have GT02 in animal mode, which takes the form of a gorilla, which actually looks pretty cool. It does look like a genuine gorilla. Unfortunately, unlike in the show, there is no chest area, so his chest area is hollow. You could, if you wanted to, flip the legs and sort of cover up that gap. And I mean sort of cover up that gap. But oh well. Doesn't really do much. It doesn't have any posability, unfortunately, unless you count that as posing. Although I'm pretty sure Saru Origami from Shinkenger kind of did something like that when it moved. But yeah, and it also shot out banana missiles from these little turret areas, which are painted in nice gold, by the way. This thing, yeah, again, you got black plastic here, the brown cockpit, the 3 lights I showed you, silver, gold, the whole mess. Yeah, so there is GT-02. RH-03 Rabbit is the Rabbit helicopter, which is what... Oh, my bad. This is actually GT-02. I said Gorilla Hauler. It's a Gorilla Trailer. I got those mixed up. It's supposed to be Gorilla Trailer, not Gorilla Hauler. I'm an idiot. Sorry about that. Oh my god, I don't know where my head was. It's not GH-02, it's GT-02. I'm an idiot. Sorry about that. I bet there was like a wave of comments saying, that's not what it stands for. There's no H in GT-02. I am sorry. Here is RH-03 Rabbit. The thing that actually has an H. It is the Rabbit helicopter. Very nice. Primary yellow. You do get the Go Busters logo right here. No Go Busters logo on the side, and they made an excuse by putting a little triangle there. I wish it could have been symmetrical for the life of it. You do get the red and blue paint on the side, the gray PVC plastic that makes up the rotor, a little bit of gold on top of there, and brown for the windshield. This cockpit doesn't really look impressive at all. It looks more like the 2-person cockpit that was in one of the vehicles in the movie Avatar. Not that shitty one by M. Night Shyamalan, the good one that had all those aliens and shit. I actually enjoyed it. I'm not sure if anyone else enjoyed it, but I did. Oh, it sure is a hell lot better than anything M. Night Shyamalan could ever come up with in 1,000 years. Of course, it does have landing gear, so it can roll about. And most people, when they're dealing with GT-02 and FS00 Frog, they'll leave it like that. It is not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look like that with the thing connected to the 2 bottom tabs. So I'm not going to put the cockpit back down because I'm actually going to take USADA, flip down the ears, attach it to the front, and now it is in Let's Driving mode, which actually looks like a much more impressive cockpit. And yes, you can, of course, spin the rotor if you wanted to. The rotor does spin freely, so, and it also makes my camera fall over, even though that was nowhere near the camera. There. So yeah, you can make the rotor spin. It does spin pretty freely. So we can now go into its animal mode, where you do actually need to push that up. Noobs sometimes. Am I right? This coming from the guy who called this the Gorilla Hauler. Alright, anyway. So take off this section. Flip the rotors, and they will become ears. Flip the arms down, and the back leg, or the front legs and the back legs. And then you split the rabbit's legs in 2. Attach the tail. Attach the ears over the thing on USADA, and then you collapse the little antenna. And here we have it in rabbit mode. This is the first time we actually see a Super Sentai rabbit. And it's actually pretty cute. I like it. It's a little bunny rabbit. It actually does, like, hop around. Like, in one episode, can't really do it with the tail bit on. But it did kind of hop around and kick the enemy. And it was also scratching the back of its ear when it was done. He's like, yeah, I'm badass. What about it? Yeah. So, yeah. Now, I'm going to get my thing here so that we can begin transformations. So, now that we have these 2 in hand, I can balance the damn camera for the life of me, and I cannot. Will you balance? There we go. Now that we have these two in play, and we also have Ace here, we can now perform the very first tokumei gattai that they ever use. And this was brought in pretty late in the series. This was brought up in episode 10 or 12. But yeah, let's get started. We'll start with Ace, of course. So we take the sword out of his hand. He'll get it back later, don't worry. And we flip the arms up. Flip the hands backwards. And then you take the Buddy Roid figure, and this goes on the left side. And then we collapse those. And what I like to do, in the show, it's supposed to have the arm sticking out like that, although I don't like it doing that, so I just keep it like that. I will set that off to the side. Next you take Gorosaki. Or GT02 I should say, take off the front cab, split the gorilla in two, and we need this. And then you take the front cab and you actually put him in backwards, or rather upside down. And then you twist the wheels, flip that forward, and flip it down like that. There's the chest plate. Now for these will become legs. The arrows here will tell you which way these will be facing and which limb these will go in. These are two orange arrows. Go in together like so, and then you flip the wheel forward. Same thing. And then two white arrows will tell you that these go together. There's two legs. Now he has feet. And then take Usada, rip off the tail, and the Buddy Roid with it. There's that. And then you take off this section, and then you fold the jets here about halfway, or the wheels here about halfway. Take off the jets, flip up the legs, and put that up. And then put the rotor here. Officially, it's supposed to be like that, but I like to leave it upwards. And then when you take off the rotor, it can no longer spin freely. Like, if you try to spin it, it will lock in a certain position, because when the button gets held down, it actually spins freely, but when it gets released, it can't. So, flip out the hands. Now, let's put it all together. First, we'll put on the feet, which, by God, this gives it height, doesn't it? So, as soon as I'm done here, let's fix that. Or just knock it out of my hand. That's not really carefully. Boy, I'm a professional filmmaker, aren't I? Alright, balance. There we go. And then put Usada on the other side and close the hand over it like I do. Put the arms on. And then go around back. And then take the rotor here, or not the rotor, the wheel section, and put it on back. Like that. And then for his weapon, we will take the sword, attach the little jet boosters on it, and this will be the boost sword, I think it's called. The boost sword, give it to him while he's waiting for battle. And then chest plate goes on. And you need to lock this up very carefully, because otherwise it'll fall off very easily. And then you flip down that piece. Then you open the visor and give him his new head. There you have Go Buster O. Cool looking face too. I wish it was covered in back though, but oh well. Posability is as follows. Arms do the full 360. One thing I do like is that it has the joints that go this way, and then the arms that can bend. Very nice. Now, I do like it. It is a throwback to Dai Reno, where Ryuseo would combine with the things to form armor, aka the Thunder Megazord. I do like how it's a throwback to that. I really do like this. It looks really cool. Now, this part would be used as a shield, which he would use like that, and somehow it would block the energy. But what I like to do is I like to open the rotor and kind of spin it like that, because they did that for Go-Onger. I don't know why they couldn't have done it for here, because that's kind of a stupid way. And I always keep it up like that, because I don't like it hanging down. So I always keep this upwards. Because, yeah, I don't really like the fact that it hangs down too much. So, yeah. Overall, these two are a pretty good set. And it makes a pretty cool combination for your Go Bustero. So I say pick it up if you can. It is actually pretty worth it. So I will see you guys later. Take care. It's time for Buster.